how much power the President of the United States has to respond militarily to something like the drone incident may be greater than you imagine.
But the U.S. Senate is expected to rein some of that power back in. To understand that, we've got to look back at both American conflicts in Iraq.
October 2017, 4 soldiers with Fort Bragg Special Forces were killed in Niger by Islamic militants. The incident was captured by a National Geographic photographer. Most Americans didn't know there was an American presence there.
Members of Congress, senior members of Congress, had no idea we had troops in Niger, let alone that they were in combat. And this happens consistently.
How was this possible? In 1991 and again in 2001, Congress passed the Authorization for Military Force, giving the president broad power to conduct military operations without congressional approval. Each time, it had to do with the American conflict with Iraq. But since then, both the Obama and Trump administration used what's better known as AUMF for other purposes, like the U.S. military presence in Niger and in Syria.
So you have these secret wars in the name of the American people being conducted throughout the world without the American public's knowledge. And this is, of course, a lot of it has to do with the fact that they used the 2001 AUMF as a blank check to do whatever they want.
Matthew Ho, who lives in Wake Forest, is an Iraq combat war veteran. He is known for resigning his State Department post in Afghanistan in protest of the U.S. troop surge. He also ran for U.S. Senate. He agrees with the repeal of AMUF, which also has broad bipartisan support.
Many of us say, of course, that's wrong for a host of reasons. Morally, it's wrong. It's wrong under international law. It's counterproductive. But also, too, as Americans, this is a violation of our Constitution. Congress has war-making authority, not the president.
Which Ho says is a timely discussion considering the Russian invasion of Ukraine. The repeal of AUMF would officially end the U.S.-Iraq war. Ho believes he and the rest of the world were misled about why we were there in the first place, but now sees an opportunity to help make that right.
You know, when they say only the dead have seen the end of war, you understand what they're talking about. And so repealing the authorization for use of military force in Iraq would be the first necessary step, many of us believe, in getting some degree of accountability for the war.
And Liz, if the repeal passes the Senate, moves on to the U.S. House, where it also has got some level of bipartisan support. When asked about it today, Speaker McCarthy said he'd have to look at that Senate version.
All right, we'll continue to follow it.
Yeah, absolutely.